Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to the devotee care sessions, which we run every Saturday, 7:30. As the temple opening has begun, or the mercy of the coronavirus is now on the diminishing side, we will open the temple, and but the good thing is these devotee care sessions would be always on every Sunday. So thank you for joining today. We will sing Sri Shira, Jai Radha Madhava for the pleasure of the Lordship. Om Vishnupadaya Krishnavasaya Bhutale Shivati Devavita Swami Dinamne Prachare Paruksham Bhaktidara Pandita Prata Ardhikarunyam Vishnu Sarvachate Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnavasaya Bhutale Shivati Bhaktivedanta Swami Dinamne Namaste Saraswati Devi Garavani Pracharade Vishesha Shunyavadi Pasha Tadeshitarade Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivash Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vinari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vinari Jaya Kirana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopinana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe Jaya Gaurani Sai 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 Jaya Shri Radha Gopinath ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananda Koti Vaishnavanda ki Jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Prem se Karo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you. It is always pleasurable to sing the kirtan at the start of the session. So, welcome again to the Devotee Care. I would like to thank Nand Gokul Prabhu for giving me this opportunity to talk, and of course Anand Pasalkar Prabhu, who is coordinating all the devotees who spoke. Before me, all the senior devotees have spoken, so I don't have much. Probably, I don't think I will add a lot of value to that, because what do you call the Diggaj, or the very senior or very what you can say, devotees with lots of realizations have spoken. Like last time, Pravash Prabhu very nicely spoke about the empathy and sympathy. And it was so nice to hear him that he has peeled. We should not use the onion word, but I will just take that analogy. He has peeled the onion so nicely, one by one, and took us on the journey. What should be in the core of our heart regarding the empathy and sympathy. It is really nice to hear him. But today, I thought that I will think. I was thinking about what can I talk about, and then the word care itself made me thinking, or I thought that let's see the word care itself. What is the care means, or what is in a general in our day-to-day life the care is all about. Then the first thing which came in my mind is we always talk to our kids or anyone growing up. We always say sharing is caring, isn't it? Sharing is caring, especially if you have siblings at home, and those who have siblings like sister, brother in their house. They remember that how much we fought for the same toy which the other person needed, or other brother sibling is playing with. We want that toy particularly at that time itself, and then our parents, or now we as parents, tell our kids the same thing. Sharing is caring. We must care that we should share our toys, or we should say share our belongings. Now, as the kids are growing into the teenage, earlier they used to share the room, but now they say, I want my own room. But we still have lots of things which are in common. We can't just buy everything in duplicate. I can't imagine those who have duplicate, I mean to say those who have two kids at the same time, or triplicates. I don't imagine how can they buy everything in three, or in double. It's very, very difficult to imagine that. The second thing which is related to a child is around us, which is a child care. We all put our kids into the child care in some way, or the one way or the other, or sometimes we put them in a school care. There is something called as an after-school care, which the kids has to play or do some activity after they finish their school. So that is the word care is there. The very important word which is around at the moment, which is giving us a lot of realization, is the word corona. And when we say corona, it talks about we can talk about the Medicare or healthcare, which is around us, which is nowadays become a day-to-day sort of word. If you are young, we don't care about the Medicare or healthcare. As you start growing older, you start getting the specs. That's the indication you start getting the toothaches, or start getting the like a muscle pain or leg pain, knee pain, something like that, then you start looking for private healthcare insurance on computer. So that is another type of care. Other thing which we see around in the business world is called as a customer care. Customer care. We care about the customer. What do they? It's on a diminishing, but we all have lots of experiences about that. And then we talk about the customer care or the passenger care when you are flying out of Australia or any part of the world. You get to see the passenger care. They care about the passenger. They inform you where the exits are, how the mask will fall down, and what you're supposed to do in the emergencies. So that comes under the passenger care or under the care word. And the healthcare we talk about under the healthcare, which is no one would like to go there, is the palliative care, where they basically look after you in that section. One of the another very core part of the healthcare, which I believe no one is interested to go, is intensive care. Intensive care means they look after you more intensively, as in they will not be one nurse among 10 patients. There will be like one nurse looking after you about probably 3 or 4 patients. I don't know what's the ratio here, but just giving an example. Intensive care, that means you are very critical, in a very critical situation, and then it could be a life and death situation for you. If the parameters go this way or that way, then that's the intensive care. Then there is something which is the foster care, and then there is something called as a mental care as well. So all these words which are around us, which we see in a day-to-day life as well, they all end with the word care, which is quite interesting. So what is the care means? As in, why should we care, or what is the care all about? It says the provision of what is necessary for health, welfare, maintenance, and protection of someone or something. Let's read this again. The provision of what is necessary for health, wealth, maintenance, and protection of someone or something. That is care. So we have to, what is called in the I will protect you. What is in that Bhagavad Gita shloka? I will protect what you have, and I will provide you what you lack. So that is the care which is coming from, related to Bhagavad Gita. And the Lord talks about it. So he says that I will protect what you have, and I will give you what you lack. But that is related to bhakti. Let's not go into that part at this stage. We will stick to the day-to-day jargon. Looking into the word care, the Cambridge Dictionary, or Cambridge, once you say Cambridge, then it has to be more authentic. The process of protecting someone or something and providing that person or things need. That is the care. Okay? Like a maintenance care. Maintenance care as in that we have to look after what is that protect. What is the process of protecting? We have to protect what they have, and we have to provide them what are their needs. What are their needs are. So in the devotee care, how does this fit into our devotee care sort of environment? That is the topic. So when we are helping, or when we are actually taking care of the devotee, we should protect what they have. So if you see in the past, if somebody leaves the movement, ISKCON movement, Srila Prabhupada used to get very, very unhappy about it. He used to feel very, very bad about it. But if that person comes back, he never used to have the grudge against him. He used to welcome him with the open arms. He used to get him back again, understanding that the Maya can act on any one of us to take us away but the core values, which the seeds of the core values which Prabhupada has implanted into that person has sprouted now, and he's ready to come back. So it took a time, but definitely he has come back. So the care is like we have to protect what they have in a way that we have to make sure that they should not start getting, even though they kept very bad experiences in unfortunately, we have to protect them in a way that their faith should not drop on the institution, or it should not, they should not feel it that it's just devotee care is like just a superficial name, or it's just a program which we just talk about, but there is nothing in the core of it. It's just empty shell. So we have to protect what something or someone. We have to something and someone. We have to protect someone and something which is as in faith, their faith into the system, or their faith into the as an institution as in ISKCON. So we have to protect that and then provide them what they need to get out of their situation. We have to protect them what they have. What they need. So coming back to this, I'm just going to share one slide with all of you, which should be here, and it's coming your way. Okay, I'll read this if you can't read it in a way. The Lord is careful about his devotees, just as mother is always careful about his little child, her little child, who is completely dependent on her care. So this is the coming from Mukundamala Stotra, Shlok 5, in reference Srila Prabhupada for this. So the Lord is careful. So the Lord himself is careful. So we have to be very careful to the devotees who is dear to the Lord. Okay. So this is very typical example. If you want to reach to someone, we have to reach to him through the person or thing what he likes. So say for example, many of you may be aware that golfing is very popular sports among the like cream people, or the people at the what I call the big fishes. So if you want to be among with them or talking with them, you should ask, how was your golf on the weekend? Even though you don't have any interest in the golf or you don't understand anything about the golf, then you should ask them that, how was your golf on the weekend? How was your, and then they will talk about it. Then that's how you get closer to them. In some way, some people are fond of dogs, then you talk about their dogs, and they are happy to talk with you more. And that's how you approach them in a way, and then get association, their association. So in the same way, if you want to get association of the Lord, you have to take care of the devotees. Once you take care of the devotees, Lord knows your pure heart. He knows that you want to come closer to him, and you want to take care of the devotees, and that's how he basically what you can say, showers the mercy on you as well. So you look after your devotee. Any mother, if you look after her child, the mother will be very happy. If you harm her child in a way, she will basically come and destroy you. She's very protective. Doesn't matter which what you can say body we are talking, like animal body or human body or anything. The mother is very protective of the kids. So, but coming back to the definition of the Cambridge, this is one more thing which is, apart from pleasing the Lord, what I get from caring about someone. If I have to care about someone, what do I get? Okay, the first thing which is being recognized by the scientists, by their studies, it says that you feel good after you look after someone. Okay. When you care about someone, you feel good. It's very contradictory to the capitalism sort of environment. That you give something and then you feel happy. No. When I give something, it diminishes. That means I'm not supposed to be happy. I lost something. That means that is not correct. That's never heard. But when you do something nowadays, you will see there are lots of charity runs. People do lots of activities for the charity. They will shave their head. They will run, like walk 100 kilometers, run so many kilometers, climb this, climb that, or swim for 100 kilometers, something like that. That makes them feel good that I've done something for someone. Even some of the cricket matches are some of the days are dedicated for some charities, which gives the person who is watching the cricket. He paid for the ticket. Along with that, he has paid for the charity, and he feels good about it. That I've done something. The second thing which gives a pleasure is sense of accomplishment. That I've done. I have something to contribute. If you go to the meeting in the office and you're being told that you will not say anything, you just keep quiet, just listen. Then why did you call me? Just to listen, you can just send me an email. I'll read it and end of the story. Why you're wasting my time and your time as well? Come to the meeting and don't. But in a meeting, the person who is facilitating the meeting should make sure that everyone contributes. Everyone gives some sort of contribution into the meeting. That means he feels that I've been heard, and that is the sense of accomplishment. So when somebody walks, say for example, we are in the temple foyer, and a new person walks into the a temple, and then he looks around and he doesn't know where to look for, like where are the deities, what exactly all this about, and why everyone is putting a tilak on, and But when you ask him, how can I help you? If you just stand there and say, how can I help you? Then you have that sense of accomplishment. I've done some service today. I brought that person from the foyer to the temple, and that's my accomplishment. The little things give you that confidence of coming to the sense of accomplishment. And you feel good. Yeah, I've done something. I've done something today. And that is just a small example. Then there are lots of services, right from pot washing to the distribution of prasadam, standing behind a book table, cleaning the temple, and like Sankirtan, Kirtan, playing Mridanga, Kartal, just standing in Aarti, dancing, lots of services there. But that gives us a sense of accomplishment. And then what happens is, when that person is coming to the temple first time, and you approach him, you have actually unknowingly you have created a strong relationship. When he will come after 10 years and he will see you, like he keeps coming for 10 years because you have given him experience, what they call in the business as a touch points. You have touched him, and not in a physical way, but you have touched his feelings. You have given him the sense of happiness or attentiveness. Everybody likes to be in the center of attraction. But when you walked in, you make sure that he's being addressed. Okay, Hare Krishna, how are you? And then in the same way, when some devotees are in anxiety or something, you can read their face as you're seeing them every day. You say, what happened, Prabhu? You look, what happened to your energy today? And then that person may open his heart. So you have created that relationship, and that is what now you have one more relationship to nurture or relish. Or now you have gained something. You have gained that relationship. Whatever that little tiny relationship. So even by just saying the word Hare Krishna, how can I help you? You have already created that relationship, and that created relationship is staying with you. Even after 10 years, that person becomes like a super devotee, and then he gives the classes and things like that, you can always say, oh, I remember him walking in this temple first day, and I said Hare Krishna to him, and he didn't know about anything, and that's relationship growing for few years, and that actually helps your personal growth. Personal growth as in a way that you have started looking not only you, but you have started looking after somebody else. As a parent, what happens is the sense of accomplishment is there, that I'm looking, these people are, I'm the one who is helping them out. And that is the sense, you valued a personal growth. You have grown, you have become a mature one step closer. You have gone to the maturity, or one step closer to the maturity. You have grown up. And then the last one which is there is the sense and the purpose and satisfaction. I have a purpose. I can stand there in the foyer, temple foyer, hand out something like, Back to God magazine information, small books, leaflet, or tell them about the upcoming festival. I can tell them about the cruelty-free milk, or Mother Cow Dairy. I would tell them about some temple programs, like Food for Life, or something. Not expecting something like they should put their hand in the pocket and pull out $1 million and give it to the temple or something like that. No, it's just, I feel valued, that a sense and a purpose. I have a purpose to do. I have some service to do, and I'm talking to people about the temple, the activity, the devotees, like Newcastle Rath Yatra is coming. I'm just information source and passing it to the person who is coming. Not that we should just overburden with information, start talking the person who is coming there first day, talking about you should surrender to Krishna and blah 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 blah. No, we should actually leave him with the best of the experiences, so that he should feel like, oh, I'm actually welcomed here. Not that I'm being bothered to now take a Janmala, start 16 rounds from tomorrow. Not like that. He should feel welcome next time. Keep coming. Have prasadam, like that. So, but what happens is, we see this sort of approach in a business environment. So what happens is, a person employs people to fulfill his dreams. I have a dream to build a car, or build an airplane, or build something, whatever is my dream, to have a travel agency, or whatnot. So I employ people to fulfill my dreams. That's business. Okay. So I have a dream which I need to fulfill, and that gives me a sense of accomplishment. So I keep employing people, and I want them to work harder. I don't care about their dreams. That's business. And that's why nowadays you can see that you might be hearing this term called duty of care around the business people, and the labor laws, or the lawyers, they will talk about the duty of care of the employer, and so on and so forth. But that's not our area for today's talk. Today's talk is about devotee care. So what would I get if I care for the devotee, or care for someone? Anyone, doesn't have to be a devotee. Or we can actually care for someone, so then he can become a devotee. And that is also pleasing. If you go, all of you are more, known to the Shastras than me, and you know Shastras more than me. So 18 chapter 68 verse, the Lord says, 68, 69, the Lord says, someone who is dear to me, who talks or tells about my message, he is more dear to me, and no one else will be more dear to. So you have that, you have achieved all those five criteria which we talked about. That what do we get after helping someone? We are not interested in doing business with that person. We are making that spiritual connection. So when we make that spiritual connection, we gain something. And that is the sense of achievement or sense of completion. There is something which is more closer to what Srila Prabhupada has done, is called as an holistic care. Holistic care means provide support and look as a whole person, okay? Biologically, socially, physiologically, and spiritually as well. So Srila Prabhupada, what he did, along with the philosophy, he feed all those people who started coming to his session. You know, a 70-year-old person cooking for about so many people, about 50 odd people, is quite accomplishment. Itself is a very big job. And not only that, he will know that which devotee will eat how much. According to that, he will cook, and according to that, he will serve with love and care. Okay. So, as a holistic care, we have to look around a person as a whole. There is a good example, or very interesting, what you can say, in the medical field. I don't know whether this is a true case, or this is the real life case, or this is just a joke. But we'll take this as a joke, but to understand one of our points. So what happens is, a person goes to a doctor and says, I have a problem with my right nose, and need to fix that. The doctor says, okay, we need to operate on your right nose. And then the operation happens. What happens is, doctor says that when he was doing the operation on the right nose, he had to block the left nose. So while working on the right nose, he blocked the left nose, and he came out of the operation theatre. He says, operation successful. The right nose is fixed. And then they say, can we see the patient now when he will be out of what you can say, anesthesia or whatever you have given him? He said, sorry, the right nose is fixed, but the patient is dead because I had to block the left nose. He can't breathe anymore. He couldn't breathe anymore, and he died. What? That's not the holistic, the care. I believe that's a joke. So I don't think this is the real life case. But this is the operation successful, patient dead. We should not be providing the care like that. That the person is given so much care that he feels bothered, or he feel the botheration of taking help from us. Like, don't worry, I will do this. It has to be in a pleasing atmosphere or pleasing condition. You can offer him the help, but let him accept as well. So these two factors should be there. You can say, Prabhu, you look very, your energy seems to be very down. Anything I can do for you? And then he says, no, Prabhu, it seems it's more than somebody can help me. Okay, how about I get you a plate of prasadam? What you would like to have today? This is what the prasadam is serving today. Yeah? So, this is the prasadam which is getting served. I would like to help you. Please sit down. I can get you prasadam. Have you had prasadam? So, not that we have to say, no, Prabhu, I am the best person in this congregation who can help you with this. Now, I have done this, devotee care course, or I've been equipped with all the thing. But the acceptance is not there. Then that will be something. Sometimes you have to just talk to him in a nice manner, and that person feel very nice. There used to be another, there is a movie called People Life as well. This is another example. The farmer was supposed to do this, like he was running out of the money, of course, and he was on the path of suicide, almost. So just give me 1 second. He was on the path of suicide, and then the government finds about it, and then they send him a hand pump or a pump, which can be put on the well, the water well, and he can irrigate his field. and that way the crop will grow. But the farmer was so poor that he didn't have money to fit that pump on the well. All the necessary bits were missing, but he was given a pump. The care the government showed the care. Within that movie itself, some politician comes and gives him a TV, but that's not the need of the time. The need of the time was to get him out of the debt, or get him out of the situation where he can actually minimize his debt or whatever. Very interesting movie. Even if you watch movies, sometimes you can relate the things in a Krishna consciousness way. Okay, so he didn't have the money to fix the pump, but they gave him the pump. Now it's your problem. That is not the care. Now in what you can say, in the corporate world nowadays, there is a new jargon word which is coming up. During our times, during our or school times, everyone used to talk about the IQ. IQ. What is your IQ? What is IQ? Which is basically a maths and verbal intelligence, which is to deal with your left brain. The IQ is kind of defined in a way that capacity to understand the world, think rationally, and use resources effectively when challenges are faced. So when you are in the challenging situation, how do you use your resources effectively? How do you think rationally? And how do you understand your world around? That is the IQ. So it is basically how do you deal with the challenging situation with the IQ. But then the business world discovered that there is something which is more than IQ is required, because we are dealing with human. They're not dealing with machine. They talk about the what you can say, the artificial intelligence, but they are now going ahead saying artificial emotions as well, isn't it? Now the artificial intelligence is there with every one of us in a form of what you can say, Cortana or Alexa or Hey, whatever. That is artificial. That is a form of artificial intelligence. But now the intelligence is covered, but what is the emotions? A human being is a human, like a holistic, the complete. What is the complete approach around it? So they are now talking about the EQ. EQ was managing ourselves and out of relationship, and out of relationship with it is to do with the right brain, left brain IQ, right brain EQ. So managing how to. There will be some challenging situation which is beyond the resources, because it is not physiological. It is not physiological. It is something higher. So people with the higher emotional intelligence are also better at understanding their own physiological state. Psychological state, and which they can understand somebody else's psychological state as well, which can include managing stress effectively. So they said that all the managerial level people, IQ is necessary for people with dealing with the situations or challenges, but these people need to be managed by somebody who needs to understand their emotional effectiveness or emotional intelligence is there needed for a higher level person who can look after all the IQ people, their needs and things like that. But now they have discovered something else which is sit higher, that is what they say, on the higher level, which is called as a spiritual quotient. IQ is intelligent quotient, EQ is emotional quotient, and which is sitting at the top is called as a spiritual quotient. That is the inner wisdom guided by compassion. Now they are talking about the compassion, equanimity, inner and outer peace, helps in better decision making, and whole brain. Basically, the SQ Spiritual quotient uses the whole brain. But what is this to do with the devotee care? This Prabhu must be talking something alien. What is the IQ, EQ? How did he go into the IQ? So the main aspect of the spiritual quotient is, which no one talks into the business world about the spirit, in a sense what Bhagavad Gita talks about, but they talk about the sense of responsibility. What is my responsibility towards this earth, the mother nature? How should I be responsible in a way that, how should I act? What should be my day-to-day life in a way that my carbon footprints will be very low? Or what is, then they talk about the humility. We have to be having a humility, okay? Have to be, and then that gives you the happiness. What is the real happiness? And if we go back to our Shastra, it says Anandamaya Vyasa. That means the spirit soul always wants to be happy. That is what everyone is looking for. Ananda, happiness. But this is the situation which is explained into our second slide, which I'm going to present here. I hope you all can see. This is about the physical quotient, intelligent quotient, emotional quotient, social quotient, and spiritual quotient. And this is the relationship quotient and career quotient. So as you continue to progress and gain to the top, you have to have the spiritual quotient. But personally, I believe in our Vedic system, spiritual quotient used to be at the bottom, the most bottom layer, where everything has been, the whole pyramid was established, a spiritual quotient. There is one good example. I'm just using the names of the countries, but just take it. The Indian village people, in the evening they were just sitting and chatting as they always used to do. And one person came to them and says, "Why you all are sitting? Why are you not working harder?" They say, what will happen? They say, you will have more money. And then they say, okay, then what? With more money you can have more land, and you can have more crop, you can have more, in a way you all will go exponentially high. This jargon word, exponentially high. And then then what? Then you will spend your rest of your life happily. And then they say, what we are doing now? We are already happy. We are already chit-chatting. We are just, we are already happy. Why bother spending all that time and becoming happy, where we can be happy right now? So that's how the what you can say, the society was established at that time. So the spiritual quotient, which is the humility, responsibility, sense of responsibility, the sense of what you can say, the happiness, that was the underlayer of our society earlier. But then this IQ came into picture all of a sudden, and everyone says, "Oh, we need to eat something even before our child is born, so that he will be like a Newton, like with the super IQ," which I believe hasn't happened much, but we haven't seen many Newtons coming out. But IQ was the thing. The EQ came and went. It didn't last much longer, but it's still there. But the SQ is the new word, the spiritual quotient, which was the underlying phenomena, or the what you can say, the characteristics of our society was earlier there. In a Vedic society, you have to be not humiliating. You have to have the humility so that you don't disrespect someone. You have to respect the elders, you have to respect the society, you have to respect the earth or environment, and then you understand that you are not the body, you are the soul, and you take the step. You take the intelligent quotient, which is the social quotient, which is you don't do anything wrong with anybody. you help the society, you do then you manage your emotions as well, the ups and downs of your emotions. Then you use your intelligence, and you use your intelligence to progress, or what you can be helpful to the society. So all those things were underlined. In the same way, when we are looking after the devotees, we should be having this principle of spiritual quotient, who we are as a spirit soul. Then what is my responsibility? To serve the Lord. How can I serve the Lord? I can serve the Lord through His devotees. That should be the understanding. So if we start sticking to the basics, then the other things will just fall in place. Now we take many times this example is given is when a farmer is going for harvest or planting the seeds. He doesn't plant the seeds like that. He has to prepare the soil. So while preparing the soil, farmer doesn't sow the seed without cultivating the soil. Okay. So when he is cultivating the soil, in the same way we have to cultivate the devotees, and we have to cultivate the devotees with the care and with the relationship, building that relationship, sense of giving. What can I give? And that giving is basically helping me. It is not helping. I'm not going to the temples so that I get the pleasure. I get the pleasure by seeing the deities, seeing the devotees, but it is not. I'm not going there to take the service. I'm going there to give the service which gives me the happiness. I'm going there to take the darshan of Sri Radha Gopinath. And if you remember his case, Amarendra Prabhu spoke about the word Pashyati. In that lecture, he gave the whole lecture in the word Pashyati. Quite amazing. It's not that you get the pleasure after seeing Sri Radha Gopinath. Sri Radha Gopinath also gets pleasure after seeing you. If despite all the ups and downs, you are there in front of him, and when he sees you, he also gets a pleasure. So in a way, I am actually giving pleasure to the devotees. So you create that bond and relationship. So in a way that when devotees sees you, they feel the pleasure. Not that, oh, why did he come today? This devotee, I better run away. So not that in that way. So when we are actually understanding that, when we are creating that relationship, the sense of belongingness comes. This belongs to me. This community, this devotee circle belongs to me. They don't need me, but I need them. I need them. I need them more than they need me. Okay. So when we look at that way, that like the famous saying, don't think what the nation can give to you, think what you can give to the nation. I don't know who said that, but that's a famous saying I heard in the past. So in the same way, we should think in a way that what I'm going to give there today to the devotees, to the temple, or to the devotee circle, what is my responsibility? How can I do my responsibility with the greatest humility? And if we see the lots of senior devotees around, then you can follow the humility. The best example which they followed was Srila Prabhupada. We should be. This is the generation. The previous generation were lucky that they actually saw Srila Prabhupada face to face. We are the last generation who will be saying that we have seen the people who have seen Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so the parampara is like that. So we are in that way. We are fortunate. We are actually seeing or getting the information right from the horse's mouth. This is what Srila Prabhupada did. This is what Srila Prabhupada used to do. This is what Srila Prabhupada would have done in that way. But the next generation won't be able to tell that. Or one generation maybe, because there are lots of senior devotees are on this planet still now. Like our kids, they will say, I've seen such and such Maharaj who was disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he used to tell all this information about Srila Prabhupada. So at most, the main thing is when you you say, I need them more than they need me, then automatically you go into the situation of humility. I need the devotees to serve, to practice because we are all following the sadhana bhakti and the Vedic bhakti. That way we have to cultivate the pure love of Godhead. We can't just go into the Raganuga straight away. We have to go through the Vedic bhakti or process. So that is the process. We have to follow the process. To serve the devotee, first thing we have to have the devotees. Or the circle around us where we can actually serve. So in a way, when we will avoid practice of serving the devotees, then automatically, in understanding that I need more than they need me more. So once we have that sense of responsibility that I have this precious jewel of devotee association and I need to look after it very responsibly, automatically the humility will come. The humility comes once you start serving the devotees, we will get the happiness. The happiness has to follow. The happiness won't go anywhere. You will feel happy. You will see there are lots of devotees who, despite hell, rain, or whatever, they go to their temple, do the kitchen service or whatever service they need to do, and even after doing that for 3-4 hours, they feel blessed, or they say, I'm happy, I've done something, because they feel that they have that sense of accomplishment. I have done something for today. Then I'm just going to refer chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 11. Tesha mevanukampatam aham ajnanam tama nashayami bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. To show them special mercy, I dwell in their heart, destroying with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born in ignorance. So what happens is once we start serving the devotees, Lord's special mercy comes in the way that when we take one step, he takes one step, and his step is like 100 steps. And what happens is, the shining lamp of knowledge destroys the darkness within us, and then we start moving towards the purity, or we become pure day by day by serving the devotees. So we have to understand that we have to cultivate the soil before we start planting the seeds into the devotee. So when we start caring for someone, we should cultivate him in a way that he becomes a devotee, and that only can happen when we think that I need him more than he does. He needs me more. So I can, if we say that I know Bhagavad Gita, I can quote the shloka left, right, and center, and once he starts associating with me, there's no way he can go back to Maya. He will become a devotee. That is not humbleness. That way you will never make devotees. The more we approach even existing devotee circle or a new person coming in with the greatest humility and the sense of responsibility, sense of belongingness, is that this is my temple, this is my devotees, this is my devotee, this is my congregation, this is my temple. So all of a sudden our mood of serving changes dramatically. I know I'm talking in that way, but this is what we have been cultivating, and the seminar which Nand Gokul Prabhu gave, the core essence of that is we have to serve the devotees in a very humble manner, and we have to have the devotee circle so that we can progress together towards Krishna, or towards the ultimate goal of life, which is the Krishna Prema. I would like to stop here. Thank you once again for all the devotees who have joined online. through Mayapur TV, through YouTube, through Facebook. And if I have said something wrong, please forgive me. I beg for your forgiveness. And thank you, Nand Gokul Prabhu and Anand Pasulkar Prabhu, for giving this opportunity to speak today about this topic. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.